Ever catch yourself daydreaming, about that what if, that passion project, that dream trip, that thing you'd tackle if only money wasn't an issue? Well, today, we're diving into a world where those what ifs might actually have a shot. We're exploring alternative funding, where sometimes a little creative asking goes a long way. We're basing this deep dive on YouTuber Odetta Rockhead Kerr's video, 16 websites where rich or kind people literally give away free money. Now, full disclosure, this isn't about ditching your day job for a life of internet handouts. It's more about uncovering the unexpected places where support lives online. Odetta uncovers a whopping 16 websites. But they seem to fall into a few distinct categories, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And what's fascinating is how these platforms cater to such diverse needs. We see everything from helping individuals facing hardship to launching creative projects, even funding travel experiences. It's like the digital world found a way to mirror all the reasons people need a little boost.
Okay, so let's break it down, category by category. What about those websites geared towards personal needs? We're talking about platforms like beggingmoney.com and Fundly.
Exactly. Sites like those really highlight the evolution of asking for help. It's this fascinating blend of being direct about your need, but with the reach of the internet. Someone can lay out their situation, no sugarcoating, and potential donors can choose to contribute directly.
So instead of someone on a street corner, it's like digital panhandling, but possibly with a wider reach. What's interesting is that the name beggingmoney.com doesn't beat around the bush.
And that transparency is actually a key point. With a name like that, there's no question about what the platform is for. It creates a very clear understanding between those seeking and offering assistance. Odetta gives the example of a single mother struggling to pay bills after her partner left. It's a clear need, presented honestly, and that resonates with potential donors.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance my plea for help buying that vintage guitar might need a bit more gravity. Sticking with the honesty theme, maybe I need to think less dream guitar and more help me keep the music playing for these kids who need an after-school program.
Well, remember, Odetta emphasizes that these platforms work best when there's a compelling story and a clear explanation of how the funds will make a difference. It's about connecting with people on a human level.
That makes sense. It can't just be about me wanting something. So what about those of us with entrepreneurial aspirations? Let's say I've got a great idea for a business or a creative project. Are there platforms specifically designed for those ventures?
Absolutely. That's where the world of alternative funding really explodes with options. Platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo have practically become synonymous with crowdfunding for creative projects and businesses.
I've heard of Kickstarter. Didn't someone actually fund a potato salad project on there once?
Yes. It just goes to show that while Kickstarter supports serious projects, it also captures that quirky side of the internet. People are willing to back the unexpected if the pitch is right. But even with those fun examples, the scale of Kickstarter is immense. Odetta mentions they've had over 241,000 projects funded, raising over $7 billion. dollars.
7 billion. Okay, that's a lot of potato salad.
Mm.
It sounds like there's a real art to crafting a successful pitch on these platforms. It's not just about throwing an idea out there and hoping for the best, is it?
You hit the nail on the head. A compelling story, a clear explanation of your project, and a well-structured campaign are crucial. And just as important, transparency. People want to know where their money is going and what impact it will have.
So it's like this microcosm of the business world, but fueled by internet enthusiasm and maybe a bit more heart.
You could say that. Building trust is key. You need to showcase your passion, your plan, and make people believe in your vision.
So it's about building that relationship with potential backers. And are we just talking one-time donations here, or do some of these platforms offer different models for support?
That's a great question. And it brings us to a platform like Patreon. Unlike Kickstarter or Indiegogo, which are usually about funding a specific project, Patreon is all about ongoing support for creators.
So this is where we're talking artists, musicians, writers, those who are creating content on a regular basis and building a community around their work.
Exactly. Think of it like a subscription service.
Hmm.
Patrons pledge a certain amount monthly or maybe per creation, and in return, they get exclusive content, early access, or other perks. It's a way for creators to generate a more sustainable income and build deeper connections with their biggest supporters.
That's a really interesting model. It seems like it could be particularly powerful in today's world, where artists and creators are often navigating this rapidly changing media landscape. What with the algorithms and the constant hustle for visibility.
Absolutely. Platforms like Patreon give creators more control over their careers. They can build direct relationships with their audience, bypassing some of the traditional gatekeepers of the art and media industries.
It's like they're taking their destiny into their own hands, cutting out the middleman, and connecting directly with the people who value their work the most.
I like it. Okay, so we've covered personal needs, creative projects, entrepreneurship. Is there anything else this magical world of alternative funding can help us with? What if, say, I just really, really need a vacation?
Don't worry, we haven't forgotten about your wanderlust. Odetta covers a couple of websites specifically for funding travel. Remember, Fund My Travel.
Oh, right. That one was pretty surprising. So people are actually willing to fund someone else's adventures. What's the catch?
The catch, as always, is a compelling pitch. It's not just about asking for a free ticket to Bali. You need to articulate your purpose. Maybe you're volunteering abroad, conducting research, or pursuing a unique learning experience. You need to convince potential backers that your journey is worthy of their support. I see. So it's not really that different from the other platforms. It's all about connecting with people on a personal level, sharing your story, and demonstrating why your project, whether it's a product, a business, or a life-changing trip, deserves their support. But with so many options, it can feel overwhelming. How do you know which platform is the right fit for your particular need or project?
That's where careful consideration and research are essential. You need to think about your target audience, the type of support you're seeking, and the overall tone and approach that resonates with your goals. Each platform has its own niche and community culture.
So it's like finding the right dating app, but for funding. You swipe right on Kickstarter for your tech gadget and left on beggingmoney.com if you're facing tough times.
That's a creative way to put it. But in essence, you're right. It's about finding the platform that aligns with your needs and increases your chances of success.
Okay, so let's say you found your perfect platform match. What are some common threads or key ingredients that contribute to a successful crowdfunding campaign, regardless of the website?
That's a crucial question. And while there's no guaranteed formula for success, there are definitely some best practices that can significantly increase your chances. First and foremost, honesty and transparency are paramount. People are more likely to contribute when they feel a genuine connection to your story and trust that you'll use their funds responsibly.
It's like building a tiny house of trust, brick by heartfelt brick. And I'm guessing a well-crafted pitch is pretty important too.
Absolutely. You need to clearly articulate your project or need, outlining your goals, the impact you hope to achieve, and how the funds will be used. Think of it as your elevator pitch, but with more detail and personality.
And don't forget visuals. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
You're right. High-quality images and videos can make a world of difference. They bring your project to life and capture people's attention in a crowded online space.
Right. Because scrolling through pages of crowdfunding campaigns can feel like trying to stand out in a sea of faces. You need that visual hook to make people stop and pay attention. But it's not just about getting fully funded on day one, is it? What about keeping that momentum going?
That's where consistent communication and engagement come in. Regular updates, expressions of gratitude, and interaction with your backers can go a long way in building excitement and maintaining that crucial sense of community.
So it's a bit like running a mini PR campaign, keeping everyone in the loop and feeling invested in your journey. It sounds like there's a lot more to crowdfunding than meets the eye.
It's definitely a multifaceted process, but incredibly rewarding when done right. It's about tapping into the power of collective support and connecting with a community that believes in your vision.
Speaking of community, remember that intriguing statistic Odetta mentioned about Kickstarter? Over 89,000 pledges processed. That's incredible.
It is. It really highlights the sheer volume of transactions and interactions happening on these platforms. It's a testament to the power of crowdfunding as a viable alternative to traditional funding models.
And to think, it all started with that potato salad project.
Sometimes the most unexpected ideas can spark a movement.
That they can. So we've covered crowdfunding for personal needs, creative projects, business ventures, and even travel. Are there any other less conventional funding sources out there worth exploring?
Well, Odetta actually touches on a few other intriguing platforms in her video, each with its own unique focus and approach. For example, she mentions Fundable, a platform specifically geared towards connecting entrepreneurs with accredited investors.
Ah, so this is where things start to get a little more serious in terms of investment and potential returns. We're not talking about micro donations anymore, are we?
Exactly. Fundable caters to a more sophisticated audience, both in terms of the entrepreneurs seeking funding and the investors looking to back promising ventures. These accredited investors are individuals or entities who meet certain financial criteria, demonstrating their experience and ability to take on higher risk investments.
So, less potato salad, more venture capitalists. Got it.
Uh-huh.
What else is on this wild ride through the fringes of funding?
Well, Odetta also highlights platforms like Seed and Spark, which focuses specifically on film and TV projects, and Circle Up, which helps consumer brands raise capital to expand their market reach.
So whether you're an aspiring filmmaker or the next big thing in artisanal kombucha, there's a platform out there that could help turn your dreams into a reality.
It certainly seems that way. And it's not just limited to those specific industries. Odetta mentions other platforms like Go Get Funding, Ululi, and Rocket Hub, which all offer diverse funding opportunities across a range of categories.
It's amazing how technology has democratized access to funding, giving individuals and small businesses the opportunity to bypass traditional gatekeepers and connect directly with potential supporters.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power of innovation, both in terms of the platforms themselves and the creative ways people are utilizing them to bring their ideas to life.
And let's not forget the heartwarming aspect of it all. In a world often driven by profit and competition, these platforms offer a glimmer of hope, reminding us that there are still people out there willing to support each other's dreams, no matter how big or small.
Beautifully said. It's a powerful reminder of the human capacity for generosity and the impact we can have when we come together to support a common goal.
Speaking of generosity, Odetta ends her video with a fascinating twist, doesn't she?
Indeed, she does. She introduces her own initiative, the Rock Star Grant, which she funds based on the success of her YouTube channel.
Now that's walking the walk. She's found success and she's using it to give back to the very community that helped her get there.
It's a true testament to the cyclical nature of support and the power of using one's platform to uplift others.
It's inspiring, to say the least. So, after this whirlwind tour through the world of alternative funding, what are some key takeaways you hope our listeners walk away with today?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is, well, success isn't a given. It takes hard work, dedication, and a strategic approach to make your project stand out.
It's not like you just throw your idea out there and it's out and the internet opens its wallet. You've got to be willing to put in the effort.
Exactly. Craft a compelling narrative, showcase your passion, and, this is key, demonstrate a clear understanding of who you're trying to reach.
And don't forget to engage with those backers. Answer their questions. Keep them updated. It's all about building those authentic connections.
Sure.
Just like Odetta said, honesty and genuine need really resonate with people.
She did. And she also highlighted the importance of realistic expectations. Crowdfunding can be a powerful tool, but it's not a magic solution for every funding need.
Right? It's not about instant riches. It's about opening up possibilities. And it strikes me that this whole deep dive started with someone simply asking, what if there's a different way to fund the things I care about?
It's true. Odetta found those different ways, and she's encouraging others to do the same. She ends her video with a question, and it feels like the perfect one to leave our listener with today. If funding wasn't a factor, what dream would you pursue, and which of these platforms could help you get there?
Wow. That really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe those dreams aren't as far out of reach as we think.
Perhaps all it takes is a little exploration, a little courage, and the willingness to ask for help when you need it.
Beautifully said. Who knows, maybe there's a whole community of support out there just waiting for that ask.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of alternative funding. Until next time, remember to keep dreaming big, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a well-placed what if.